Okay, hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I am so excited to film this. So I have been getting quite a few plants, like these last 3 months. It's just been non-stop getting plants, and this is like the first time that I've really had time to enjoy them and not have to stress about bringing in new plants. These last couple weeks, I guess, has been the only time that I've truly watched them grow. So I have quite a few favorites, and I think this is the first time that I'm doing I literally just walked around my whole collection and was like, okay, what am I enjoying right now? I pulled everything out. I feel so overjoyed with all of the growth I've had, and so I just really want to show you guys what I've been really enjoying. And so let's get into it. Okay, I also forgot to mention, I'm sorry if you guys can hear my washer in the background. It's currently summer break, so I have, my niece and nephew are here as well, so if you hear anything in the background, I apologize in advance. The first one I'm going to start with is just a classic of mine. I couldn't let a video go without mentioning this one, okay? This is my Philodendron Mykins. Look at this beauty. I have it right in front of my window. I wish I actually took down the plant design for you guys, because I have it in a Vanda basket and it just looks so cute. I'll try and take a b-roll, but I don't know if the backlight will really let me get a good video of this. But I just love how this is growing, you guys. It's literally just facing the window, facing the light, everything. This is the one thing that I really truly enjoy about philodendron heart leaves, in general. This is not facing the light. You can see it's just kind of growing everywhere compared to this. It's so beautiful and mesmerizing to see that it's just staring back at you. It's so beautiful. And I don't want to talk about this one too much because I feel like I have definitely been raving about Mykins for so long, but it's just a classic. And I might even have to chop this one, but I've really been trying not to because I just want to let it grow. But I know that in order to get it big and bushy and full, I really need to chop it. But I am gonna let it just get a little bit longer, and we'll see when I want to chop this. I don't know, I'm kind of scared too, but yeah, Mykins is my #1 right now. I love this plant so much. I kept that one short, but the next ones that I want to show you guys, oh my god, I don't even know which one to start with because I'm literally so overjoyed with all of these. I'm gonna start with these, I guess. I showed these in my last video. They are my carnivorous plants. So I have updates on, or not, let me start with this one, okay? This is my sundew, or a Cape Dracera, and I'm quite literally in shock right now. Okay, anyways, so this one, I posted it on my Instagram. So when the new leaves come out, they come folded up like this. I don't want to touch it because some of them actually do have the dewdrops, but they come out like this, right? And I saw this. You guys, that's a flower. I've had this since, I don't even remember, but I got this in the beginning of June. I haven't had it in here for that long. I literally, when I tell you, I was shocked at the fact that a flower was coming out. And it didn't come with the flower already, because if it came with the flower already, the flower would have already died off. And it wouldn't be continuously pushing out that flower. That just makes me really happy, because I have not had you for this long and you're already flowering. It truly makes me happy. And then the reason why I wanted to show you guys my pinguicula is because look at all of this growth, you guys. Literally, I was so scared, I still am, honestly, that I'm gonna kill this, because I can see this from when I'm laying in my bed. So I would just look over at it and it would kind of look like the leaves were curling up, if they were closing up. And so I was like, okay, am I doing something wrong? But no, this is all new growth, just coming down, from the center. And right now, as I'm recording this for you guys, I look down the center. Let me see if I can, do you guys see that? There's a freaking flower! What the heck, you guys? Oh my god. I hope you guys can see that. That is just crazy. It makes me feel really good, because I honestly thought I was gonna struggle with all of these. Oh my god, you guys, I still can't believe that there's a freaking flower in that. It's just crazy to me. Absolutely insane, because I literally just got these. These are the first plants that I've gotten to flower for me, on my own. Well, technically not. I got my brother's orchid to flower for me, but it hasn't fully sprouted. I can't even get words out right now. These plants I thought I was going to struggle with. Like I honestly, especially this Dracaena, I was like, I don't know if it's gonna do well in no drainage. Like it doesn't, it likes constant moisture, and if it's in no drainage with a, you know, moisture retentive mix, how is it gonna be? And I feel like I don't even know a lot about these plants, and like it's just like such a good feeling to have a plant flower for you, especially these two, specifically the Pinguicula, because I had no idea how to take care of this plant. When I tell you that, I mean it wholeheartedly. I literally had no clue. I didn't know if I needed to let them dry out, give them constant, like literally I didn't know anything. All I knew is that they were from Mexico. And the Pinguicula flowers make me even more excited because I love the look of Pinguicula flowers. I think these are actually purple as well. When they do flower, I will be showing that on my Instagram, so definitely follow me there. I will link it here right in front of me so you guys can, you know, put that in. But that makes me so happy. Like I can't even describe that. Like I know I'm like talking about it a lot, but like the Pinguicula one, I literally just saw, like I had no idea that that was going on until I literally just looked down at it. Okay, next one. Let's do this one. This is my Dracaena. I don't know the actual name of this, but it is just like a green on green variegated variety. And this one was in soil for a little bit, and then I propagated it because it was just not doing well. I think I honestly just like really underwatered this. And so I put it in water and it rooted up. And the reason why I wanted to show you guys this is just because I love the structure of the overall plant. Like it looks like a oh come on, I had the name, Wabikusa, Wabi, is that what it's called? Wabikusa? I'll put the name up. I'm not really sure. I don't know why. I literally just had, but it just looks very like structural and just like very like a sculpture almost. And so I love it so much. I definitely wish that this one was a little bit more full right here, and I'm actually thinking of notching this, but I kind of wanted to give it a little bit of space to like figure itself out first, so that I wasn't like potting it in here and then automatically notching it. I want it to get a little bit rooted up. The one thing that I am not really sure of is how to water this, because I know that they can kind of go pretty dry even in soil. So in pond, I'm just like, I don't know when to water you. Like it's kind of confusing. But I think I only watered this once, and it was when I first put it in here, because it's coming from water, so I wanted it to, you know, acclimate well. I guess I'll just watch and see. I'm not really sure, honestly. Yeah, that is my Dracaena in this cute little container that I thrifted, and it's in pond. Let's do this one just because I've already showed you guys this one a million times. This is my Philodendron gigas. Of course, it gave me a new leaf. I will say it is kind of a slow grower, but not in the sense of like it's giving me a leaf like every 6 months. Like it's pretty consistent with its growth. Like it'll give you a leaf almost every month, I would say. I feel like it just depends on your care, definitely. But it just gave me this leaf after I chopped it, and this leaf was barely coming out of the sheath. Yeah, barely coming out of the sheath, and it did lose one leaf, but it wasn't due to the chopping whatsoever. Like this leaf down here still looks really healthy. This is the bottom leaf of the cutting that I took. Oh my god. And it's really healthy. It had a leaf coming out of this node here, but that leaf, well, one, it was already like snapped off, because if you bend these, like I can't even move this leaf upwards, or else this part of the petiole will snap. And so that's what happened with that leaf, and it just like slowly looked dehydrated and just like started shrinking, and it was only that leaf. So I knew that it was just because of the fact that the petiole was snapped, and it was like dangling on by a hair. So I felt okay with that. I didn't mind that. The one thing that I was scared of is that it would look really like bald, but I actually think that with this new leaf, it looks really good. You guys, I love gigas leaves so much because of this like iridescence that they have when they unfurl. It's just like so, oh my god, you can see it right there. It's just like it has hues of like blues and greens and reds, and it's just so freaking pretty. If you have never heard of this plant, because I think it took me quite a bit, honestly, to learn about this plant, and like I don't understand why this plant isn't more talked about, because it is honestly I think it's one of the best velvet leaf philodendrons out there. Like, and like people can argue with me on that. I do not care. It has one of the thickest leaves. The emerging leaves are so beautiful and rich in color, and like the deepness, oh my god. I feel like it's almost as good as like in a new anthurium leaf, because it's just like so rich in the color that it comes out. And yeah, it's honestly really easy. I've noticed that mine is pretty drought tolerant. Like, it can dry out a little bit in between watering. Some people say that theirs is pretty thirsty, but I haven't noticed that with mine. Literally, I will wait till it's like not bone dry, but definitely like heading towards that way or that spectrum of like dryness. Like right now, I've just sort of just been watching the soil, because right now it's really light. But I feel like with this one, because of the thicker leaves, it can hold onto its water a little bit more. Okay, the next one. Ooh. This is my sugar vine, my Scissus striata, I believe is the name. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the scientific name for this. And I love this so much. You know those like face planters? Actually, I have one right here. This would look so cute as like a face planter, because it just looks like a little afro. It is so freaking it is so freaking cute. Literally looks like a little mini afro. This thing is so fast growing. I love it. It's honestly really easy. It's very vocal when it's thirsty. Like, the leaves will be really like thin and like limp almost. I try not to let it get to that point. I've only let it get to that point once, because I didn't even realize that it needed water. I will say it's pretty thirsty. All of these plants, I feel like, besides the gigas maybe, are kind of thirsty. But definitely all of these I'm like watering at least once a week, especially this one. Like every 5 days, it's just constantly drying out. I have this one under my Brina in my propagation corner, which has slowly turned into not my propagation corner. I don't even have anything over there now that's like really propagating, besides like rosemary and then a rose propagation. So yeah, anyways, but as for this one, I haven't even really talked about this one, but it is so fast growing, you guys. Like, when I got this, it was definitely a lot less full, like so much less full. And I can kind of see where the new growth has like shot up from, because there's like levels. It's like a tier system through these leaves. But I love the leaf shape on this. It kind of reminds me of like a Schefflera, but if it was like a vine. I cannot. Like, if you do not have one of these, I definitely recommend you get one. It is honestly really easy. And you can see right there, there's like roots growing out of this. It's mostly because I'll try and leave like a little drop of water down here, because it is so thirsty. I might even try and move this into no drainage at some point, because I feel like I could do really well on that, but we'll see. The only other Scissus that I have is like my Amazonica, and I feel like this is so much easier compared to that. Like, the leaf sizes, the viningness, I guess, is just really nice. And like, if you're the type of person to do filler plants, I feel like this is one that you definitely need. But just maybe keep on top of the watering a little bit, because she don't like to dry out. These aren't necessarily in like a specific order. I'm just kind of like going through and showing you guys what I'm really enjoying this month, besides like maybe the first and the second one. Those were definitely in order. But these are kind of just like whatever I'm picking up first is what I'm talking about. Okay, let's talk about this one. This is my Florida Beauty. It just is now, I think it's about to harden off. It still kind of has that like glossy sheen on it. You guys can see the variegation. I've really been trying not to touch this. Holy moly, this leaf is massive. I did not realize how big this leaf is. I mean, it's, oh no. I think it's actually going to be bigger than the biggest leaf on here. The biggest leaf on here right now is probably this leaf. And look at this leaf. Oh my goodness. I love Florida Beauty. Such an easy grower, and it roots like crazy. I'm actually gonna pull this out so I can, I guess I could just show you guys what it looks like. It's been throwing out roots like crazy. I did move this out of the setup that I had in here. This thing grows like so compactly, like those nodes are stacked, and so it's really hard to like fit this into a confined space, because it's just so bushy. Like, Like, imagine squeezing all of these leaves into a freaking shelf down here. I just could not do that. And I'm even thinking about moving it under my propagation corner Barina light, but I just haven't, honestly. I don't know why. I just really haven't. I feel like this doesn't need to be in a cabinet. I have it grown, well, I've always grown it in ambient conditions, but there's definitely more humidity in here than in my like actual ambient conditions. So it did get some pretty good humidity out of that, and now I've just sort of moved it out here. I feel like this is a really good transition area for like bringing plants from high humidity into like my ambient conditions. But yeah, this thing is such a vigorous grower. I am not complaining whatsoever. I honestly think this is going to size up to be bigger than this one because of the size of the petiole. Like, this is the size, okay, let me see. This is the size of the petiole for the biggest leaf that is on the plant currently. This is the size, can you guys even see this? This is the size of the petiole for the leaf that just came out. Literally, like, look at this compared to that. There's no way this isn't gonna be bigger. Like, that's crazy to me. Also, it's in my belt mug. I don't know if I mentioned that. I love this design aspect. Like, both of these together just make such a good combination, and I just love this plant in general. If you were thinking about getting one, I have heard people are kind of iffy with like the propagation. I actually have to pin this back, I just realized, but I have heard some people have experienced like the propagation be a little bit iffy with like the variegation and all of that. So I wouldn't say get a propagation, but I would say that it's definitely worth the hype. Like, it's definitely worth the money as well. Like, I feel like this is a really, really good plant to get. Maybe not if you're like trying to sell, but if you want it in your collection, it's such an easy grower. Honestly, it grows like any other philodendron. Some plants, they look beautiful. Like, they look really, really nice. Like the philodendron luxurians, oh my god, I want that thing so bad. But the amount of people I've heard say that it's so difficult that you just do not even want to have it. This is not one of those plants. This is one of those plants that looks the part and plays the part. Like, it is so easy. And so if you're thinking about getting one, I definitely recommend it. Alrighty. So the last one that I have to show you guys until I get to the ones that I'm struggling with is my Stefania Super Rosa. Look at this beauty. She is vining, okay? She is like going crazy. But look at all of this. I feel so proud. Like, I feel like a proud mom, honestly. And this one is kind of the same as the Scissus, if I'm being honest. I definitely don't drown this. Like, I will just sort of like put a little bit in here, let it drizzle out the bottom. I have a I have a leca layer at the bottom of this just to sort of keep it from not touching any water that goes down into this, because this does not have drainage whatsoever. And I also have like in here so I can leave a small amount of water at the bottom, and you guys can see there is a root coming out. Can you guys see it? I feel like it's really small. There's actually two, but yeah. I wouldn't say it's a thirsty plant, but it definitely appreciates the like humidity around the roots, so I think that this is the perfect setup for this. And again, when I water this, I will literally just sort of like drizzle whatever I can on the top of it until I sort of feel it, or I will actually even dip it. I've actually done that more recently too. But honestly, if you like, I was really scared to get this before I got it. Like, I was honestly really scared that I was gonna kill one, like I was gonna overwater it and things like that. It's still pretty early and that can still happen, but so far I feel really happy with where this is at, and I have no complaints whatsoever. I was honestly so scared to take care of this. If you're scared of getting one, or if you're not sure of how you'll really take care of it, I think you'll do okay. Like, honestly, I was really scared of this plant, of any like caudex-y plants, and it has sort of shifted my perspective a little bit, and I feel like they're really easy to understand as long as you don't treat them like an alocasia, or as long as you don't treat them like they need water, like they're freaking thirsty, because they really aren't. They can handle drying out, but with that being said, I will also say that it does not like to consistently like be dry, because if you do let it consistently be dry, it'll sort of shrivel up any of these little leaves. So if you have a sort of setup like this, even if it's a clear vessel or something, I would definitely recommend it. Put a little bit of leca in here, a little bit of leca at the bottom, and when you water it, just sort of let it drip into here. But you also want to make sure that the water level isn't too high to where it's like touching the soil. That's also why I recommend putting a leca layer in here, because it'll make sure that that water is not going to touch the soil whatsoever. I also have it in, I actually got this from PLHC. They had it in Coco Core with like a lot of perlite, and so I just sort of kept it in that same mix, and it's been literally a dream. Like, I feel so happy with this, and I was going to move it near my window because it's getting really, really tall. Like, it doesn't even fit in this bottom shelf anymore. It keeps like curling down, and I don't know that it'll like survive that way, so I've just sort of been trying to figure out where to move it. But I actually think I might stick it back under here and like intertwine it in between the I'll try and insert a video because it's kind of hard to explain, but there's a light on the top and a light on the bottom, and there's a connector between these two lights so that I only need one cable for the outlet. And so the connector for the top light and the bottom light is outside, so it's like plugged in and it's like coming out through here, and then it's plugged in on the bottom. So I kind of want to like tangle it in between that cable, and I think it'll also get some good light in the top, and maybe we can have it like vine throughout the top as well in this shelf. And I feel like it would look so pretty because I really wanted a sort of viney plant there. I feel like it'll look so good. And actually, I don't know, because then maybe the leaves will face the light and it'll just be really weird. So maybe I will just move it near my window. I'm not really sure on that, but with all of this, you know, happy growth, there's definitely some like negatives and some downfalls in this collection. Like, I don't want to give off the feeling that I'm like all, you know, rainbows and sunshine over here, because it's definitely not. So in this video, I'll pop in the thumbnail again, I mentioned my orchid that my boyfriend got me. Yeah, I moved it again into this like smaller vessel because there was no reason for it to need that big vessel. It did lose 2 leaves. I don't know that it had all 4 leaves in that video, but it had 4 leaves in total when I started rehabbing it, and like when I first got it and everything. 2 of those have fallen off now, and now it just has these 2 big ones. It honestly looks like a helicopter, but that's besides the point. It has 1 tiny root, which actually is like, it's rotted off of the stem initially, but then it's like really, really thick and green, and you can see that here. This water also kind of looks really murky because I put myco in here. I know this plant really benefits from having a symbiotic relationship with mycorrhizae, so I've really been trying to keep that. I don't know if it's a good idea. There's kind of like fuzziness on the root, and I'm pretty sure it's myco. I mean, it's not mold. I can see where it's like starting to mold. Maybe this is mushy. No, it's not. But you can kind of see there's like that white foam. That's not mold. I'm pretty sure that's myco. And so I've just been leaving it because although it is like rotted from here, it still looks really healthy and green here. I haven't noticed any like new, oh, maybe, actually, I think I see 2 new root ends. Because I don't want to lose this plant, and I've really been trying like all of the tricks. I have this under my Barina grow light in my propagation corner. Like, I do not want to lose this. I have saran wrap over the top. I have it like really close to the light. Like, the light is like right here. So I'm really trying to get this together because I don't want to lose this plant whatsoever. And when it does root up, I'm manifesting it. When it does root up, I'm going to put it in leca, and following in Acunilla planta's, Kevin's footsteps, I am going to put it in leca. So yeah, that is the first plant that I wanted to show you guys that I'm struggling with, and I'm gonna go get the next one. This is my El Choco. Yeah, she's on the struggle bus again. I am sort of doing the same setup in here, although I don't have myco in the water. I should. No, wait, I think I did put myco in this water, actually. Yeah, I overwatered this thing. Most of the roots were in the moss pole, and the substrate below, well, first of all, it was doing great, okay? And then I decided to move it to no drainage because I wanted it in this lower shelf. And so I messed with the roots, and then, well, honestly, these don't root up that much, honestly. Like literally I think it had like 3-4 roots maybe, like primary roots. Yeah, I was just like, okay, like I just won't really water the no drainage vessel, it'll be fine. And then I watered the moss pole, which is where a majority of the rootstock itself was. And then it just went downhill from there because it wasn't ready to be watered. I was just trying to keep the moss pole moist, but I really oversaturated that moss pole when I didn't need to. And so this thing is in water. And it looks like it's honestly lost a lot of leaves. And I'm hoping that we just keep this beautiful leaf. I was thinking about just keeping it in soil. I had it in soil and no drainage for a little bit because it does have roots. It does have some roots, but they're just really, really small. And so I was like, actually, you know what? Let's move it into water. And I don't know if that's a mistake or if that's, you know what I should have done for this? I should have done a parfait method. I think I might still be able to, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. If this doesn't root up, I might move it into the parfait method, which if you don't know what that is, I'll insert a picture of my luxurians crossed with radicans. Well, my brother's luxurians crossed with radicans, but it's when you have a leca. It's when you have a layer. I keep confusing the word leca with layer. It's when you have a layer of leca, a layer of perlite, and then a layer of sphagnum. Charmaine has sort of talked about this. I'm not sure if she did a video on it. If she did, I'll try and find the thumbnail and I'll insert it so that you guys can see what it looks like. I don't want to lose this plant, and I did take some cuttings of this. I have 2 chunks in my but I did like instead of having a prop box now, I have like a prop tower in like a cloche, so it's very, very specific. And so yeah, I put those in there, and one of those will be for a friend because she has this on her wish list, and I was like, I told her that I would give her a cutting whenever, you know, I could root it up and like get it to be successful. So I'm hoping, and if one of them dies and there's one left, that will be going to her as well. I just kind of took 2 as like insurance. One of those is either insurance for me or insurance for her. It just kind of depends. Yeah, my El Choco definitely took a steep fall down. It like, this plant just takes you on roller coasters, okay, that you didn't even sign up for. Like, you didn't even get the bracelet, you didn't even get nothing, and it just like puts you on the freaking roller coaster and takes you for a ride. If you guys have had any experience with rooting up El Choco, I know Wild Fern did hers in just water, so that's why I'm hoping this will help. The last time that I tried to root up an El Choco, I was not giving it enough light whatsoever. And so now with more knowledge and just like experience, I feel like I can make this root up. But again, just I'm still like very uneasy about this plant when it comes to propagating it. So yeah, there you go. Alright, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I definitely feel really happy with all of the growth. And even honestly, the like downsides, even the 2 that I'm struggling with, I feel happy that I'm getting to experience the like re-rooting or the propagating of these 2, because they're definitely plants that I'm still really uneasy about, especially the orchid. I just don't really have a lot of experience with orchids besides like my brother's, and I haven't had like the full experience of like propagating it, re-rooting it, like all of that. So it's a new experience that I'm willing to like take on, and all of this growth just makes me really, really happy. And I definitely don't feel the need to like add any plants to my collection right now. I feel very content and happy with what's in my current collection. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will definitely be doing an updates. I'll definitely be doing an updates pretty soon, so definitely look out for that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.